YouTube, yes sir, it's your boy, and we're back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna break down how I determine the trend for my directional buys for the day. Okay, now I'm not gonna drag this video out for long. I want to get straight to the point, but before I even get into the video, man, you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the channel, right? Join the family. We're over 300 subscribers. It's only been 2 months. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing me, right? And also, I do have a free Discord down below, so you guys want to learn how to trade, you guys want to talk to other traders, you guys want to get signals literally for free, it's gonna be down below. Just literally join, right? Join the family. It's a vibe in there. We always chopping up in there, so don't miss out, okay? But let's get into the video, right? So when you're trying to understand the trend, right, a lot of people have a hard time because when it comes to finding the trend, either one, they don't know their structure points, they don't know how market structure is, or two is they're not using their higher time frames to determine where prices could head to, right? So in this video, I'm literally gonna break down how I find my trend. It's really simple, right? I'm not gonna tell you guys to use, you know, all these extra indicators. No, we're literally gonna go off of price action and only off of one indicator that I use on my higher time frames. Okay, so let's get right into the video, right? So let me take this off. So I'm on the 1 hour, right? So when I find my trend for any pairs that I'm looking at, right, I have to see what the higher time frame is doing, right? The first time frame I go to is the 1 hour. I do not use a daily, I do not use a weekly. Why? Because I'm not trying to hold my trade for long, okay? I'm trying to scalp and get in and out as fast as I can, okay? So the 1 hour is going to be your best friend, okay? So as you see it, let's say I'm at this point right here on the 1 hour, right, in this zone, right? This is what I'm at, right? So if I'm coming to the 1 hour and I see this, right, what is that telling me, right? For one, right, it's telling me that we are constantly going up, right? We're not breaking to the downside, right? And for two, we're also above the 200 EMA, right? So the first thing I look at is, are we above or below the 200 EMA? Okay, if we are above the 200 EMA, what that is telling me is that we are most likely bullish. Okay, if we're below the 200 EMA, that's telling me that, okay, cool, we may have sellers coming in and we're under, so that's telling me that we should be going down. Okay, so the first thing I look at is, where's price at? Are we above or below the 200, right? That's the first thing I need to see, right? Then the second thing is, I'm gonna see, are we breaking structure to the upside? Okay, are we making new highs, right? If we're making new highs, cool, that's telling me, okay, we should be looking for buys. If we're breaking to the downside, we're making new lows, then okay, what's that telling me? We should be looking for sells. Okay, so let's say I get to the charts at this level, right? Let me just replay this, and remember, keep in mind, this is the 1 hour because I used the 1 hour and the 4 hour to determine my trend. Okay, but the 1 hour is going to be your best friend, okay, if you are scalping on the 5 or the 15 minute, right? So if I see this right on the 1 hour, what am I seeing right here, right? I'm seeing that we already know we're above the 200, right? But we also have a low right here, right? So when you are determining trend, right, you don't want to go all the way back to here, right? You do not want to do that because we want to focus on what is happening at most recent price. Okay, so if I was you and I was on the 1 hour, I would just look at this area, right? Because that's recent, right? Each candle is an hour, so you don't want to go back too far, right? You want to focus on what is happening right here. Okay, so as you guys see, we have a low right here, right? We also have another low right here, and we also have lows right here, right? So what am I seeing right now, right? I'm seeing that we are constantly making new higher lows. Okay, so this was a higher low, right? This is another higher low, and this is another higher low, right? So we are not breaking any higher low structure. Okay, we're constantly going up, right? We're making new higher lows. So what does that tell me? We are bullish. Okay, now not only are we not breaking any lows, right, we're also creating new highs. Okay, so as you can see right here, we had a high right here, right? Let me make this blue, right? We had a high right there. We have these highs sitting right here, right? So we have this high up here and this high right here, right? So now as you can see, right, what is happening, right? We are constantly moving to the upside. Okay, so when you are looking at trend on the 1 hour, right, you want to see, for one, is price above or below the 200, right? For two, what is price doing? Are we making new higher highs, and are we making new higher lows? Okay, so at these points, you see we have a higher low right here, we have a higher low right here, we have another higher low, right? So we're still making higher lows. As we are making higher lows, we are breaking higher highs, right? So this was a higher high, we broke right there. This was a higher high, we broke right here, right? So if I'm strictly just using the 1 hour to try to see if I should be looking for a supply or demand setup on the 5 minute, use the 1 hour to let you have a better understanding of it, right? So the 1 hour, literally everything's telling me we are bullish. So what do I do on my time frame that I take my trade? I literally only look for a demand setup. Why? Because we have a lot of bullish confluences lining up. Okay, so if you are having a hard time understanding on the 1 hour, right, I always glance at the 4 hour just to see what price is doing as well. So let's say I go to the 4 hour, right? So what is the 4 hour doing? 4 hour doing the same thing, right? So for one, we are above the 200, right? So that's good. We're also creating new higher highs, right? As you can see, when you're on the 4 hour, you just want to focus on this level right here, right? You don't want to go all the way back here, right? Because price is not over there. We are scalping, so we want to focus on the most recent price action that is happening on the higher time frame. Okay, so as I'm focusing on this area, what am I seeing, right? I see we had a low right here, right? So that was a low. Let me make this color. That was a low, right? We also have another low right here, and we have another low, and we have another low, right? So as you can see, right, we are constantly making higher lows, right? So you can see this was the bottom, it keeps going up, but it's still a higher low, right? And then at the meantime, as we are creating higher lows, we're also creating new higher highs, right? So this was a previous higher high, right? That blue bubble, this was a higher high, right? Because this candle broke above, it wicked, as you can see, it wicked above this candle, right? So that's a new high for me, right? So what is this telling you, right? This is telling you that, cool, we are above, okay? We're also making new higher lows. As we are making new higher lows, we're making new higher highs. Okay, so at this point, I have a full understanding of what my directional bias is for the day, right? I should only be buying because nothing on the higher time frame is telling me that we should be selling. Okay, so that's how I use the 1 hour and the 4 hour to understand my trend, right? Again, I'm gonna show you guys one more example, and I hope this video helps you guys out, because I know when I started trading, I had a hard time understanding what the trend was, but once I understood this on the higher time frame, it literally changed the way I trade. Okay, so let's go to a different pair, right? Let's go to gold. Okay, so let's go to the 1 hour. So let's see right here, right? So let me replay this right here. So as I get to gold, right, let's say I get to the charts, I'm on my 1 hour, right? Go to the 1 hour once you get onto your pair, so you can understand what the trend is doing for the day, right? So if I see this happening on gold, right, what am I seeing, right? You want to build your confluence. The more confluence you have, the more confident you are to take your trade. Okay, so as I see this right here, we're under the 200 EMA, right? So that's perfect. So cool, we have one of our confluences lined up, right? The second thing is we're making new lows, right? So as you can see, we had a high up here, right? And then we got other highs right here. We have another high right here, right? So as you can see, right, you just want to focus on this area, right? Why? Because this is the 1 hour, right? We are scalping, so you want to see what the most recent price is doing. Okay, so we have higher lower highs right here, right? So you see, this is a lower high, this is a lower high, this is a lower high, right? So we have 3 lower highs. So as you can see, there's no highs being broken, right? Now let's say if price came up like this, if price was to come up right here to that, and then come down and then do this again, then what is that telling you? That's telling you that market structure is shifting, right? But as of right now, we're not taking out any lower highs, right? These lower highs are still there. There's no candles that close above, so we are still bearish for the day. Okay, at the same time, as we are making new lower highs, right, we have lower lows. So this was a lower low. Let me change this color. This was a lower low, right? We have another lower low right here. We have another one right here, and then we have another one right here, right? So now as you can see, right, we are constantly making new lower lows, right? This was a previous lower low, then it came down here and down here, down here. So we're making new lower lows, and at the same time we're not breaking lower highs. Okay, so when I see this on the 1 hour and I see that we're under the 200 EMA, that is telling me that we should be selling for the day. Okay, now we could go to the 4 hour as well. So as you can see on the 4 hour, right, what is the 4 hour doing? Right, the 4 hour, for one, we are under the 200 EMA, so cool. Now we have the 1 hour and the 4 hour EMAs lining up together, right? We're also making a new lower low. So as you can see, we had a lower low right here, right? And then this is a new lower low at this point right here, right? So what is that telling me, right? We're breaking structure to the downside, right? And this is a high right here, right? This is the high of this 4 hour, right? So again, if price does not break above and close above this level, I'm still bearish. Why? Because the structure still hasn't shifted, right? Now if the candles close above here, right here, and then it came back a little bit and then it came back up, then what is that telling me? That's telling me, okay, cool, now we might have a shift of structure. Okay, but in the meantime, if it's not happening, you should be only looking at what the higher time frame is telling you, right? So the 4 hour and the 1 hour, if they line up together perfectly on the 5 minute or the 15-minute time frame, and you understand your directional bias, your trade will most likely hit as long as you have your zones drawn correctly. Okay, so again, that is all I have for you guys. I know a lot of people try to use trend lines and add all these other indicators on the charts. You do not need that. As long as you know how to read price and you understand where price is at, right, you will understand trading so much better, and your trades will mostly hit every time you take it, right? Because why? Because now you're going with the trend. The trend is your friend, and you never want to counter trend, right? So if I see prices going up like this and I understand everything is going up, right, why should I be taking a supply setup on the 5 or 15 minute, right? Because most of the time, price, if you see a supply setup on the 5 minute and then you take it and then you lose, what is happening is because it's just a retracement on for the higher time frame, right? But the higher time frame is telling you that we're bullish. So why are you taking a supply setup when the trend is telling you that we are bullish, right? So again, that's all I have for you guys. I wanted to make this video as short and sweet as possible, and I hope this video will help you guys out, right? So I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.